There we go. Hey, oh, I gotta turn that off. No, not that. Turn off. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Perfect. Good morning, everyone. I apologize for being slightly tardier than I normally am. Streamlabs tends to give me these annoying times where things won't set up and I have to restart. I have to set everything up again. It's a pain in my ass, but you know what? We do the things that we have to do. Zick Z, I appreciate it, man. I always find it funny. I like to see how fast I can talk. I don't think I would make a good auctioneer, though. I think I'd make a terrible auctioneer because I trip over my words pretty often. But I appreciate it. Thank you. Today is light day. This is the day that nothing is happening in game at all. So we kind of just shoot the shit and get roster reviews done. We have egg draws that we'll be doing later. I don't feel time crunched today, which is nice because we're not seeing a movie until I think it's noon. I don't think we're going till noon, so we have a little bit of time. I have not gotten a haircut, Xander. I apologize. No, I get the Eddie Munster thing. It's just my hair is wet because I just took a shower. I do need a haircut. It is starting to get longer than I generally like it to be. What did I buy? I said I wasn't going to do it. I told myself I wasn't going to do it. I literally begged myself not to do it. But I did end up buying the episode pass. It's one of those things that every frickin' time I have to. Reset the embarrassing days timer to 0. You can buy any bundle and invest the change. Reset it to 0. User, man, I will do it. I will do it for you. I don't even know what the conversion is, but I can't technically reset the number while I'm on stream, I don't think, because it is in Notepad. But it is one of those things where if somebody tells me, if they send me something and they say, hey, this is specifically for this, I do buy it because, I mean, I feel like it's a social contract. So let's see, KR to USD. All right, so we got a $20 pack to buy. What are we gonna buy for 20 bucks? What do I need for? I really need to finish Hondo is what I need to do. I would love to finish Hondo. I don't know. Can I finish Hondo today? how many? I would need about 6,000 crystals. Can I get 6,000 crystals for 20 bucks? I don't think so. I'm thinking. I'm looking, man. What are the crystal conversions? I don't even know. 20 bucks. Okay, so no. We're going to buy resources because I also need relic resources pretty badly. Supreme gear catch. Don't need that. There's no resource stuff that I really fucking need here, though. What is this? Don't need that. Whew. User, you put me in a little bit of a bind here, man. I could use some datacron shit. Signal data catch. Well, you know what I could do? All right, I got it. You're on bot store. You know what? Let's finish Hondo. I need about 6,000 crystals, user. I know I have crystals, but I need those because I need to hoard. I need this for whatever's coming next. But I need about 6,000 crystals in order to finish Hondo. And that would be, that's like a $50 pack right there. And then we'll just burn right through Hondo. But other than that, my thought, and this is a great pack actually, is to buy crystals and spend them here because this is an insane pack. The signal data that you get is beautiful. It is so very helpful. If you get the jackpot, right, the final one, I ended up getting the jackpot last time. It's basically a free pack, which is friggin' nice. All right, I guess we're finishing Hondo today, huh? Okay. All right. I am going to buy this on my phone, though. Yeah, but I don't need 42,000 crystals to buy Hondo. All right, so we need to buy a $50. I normally buy all 3 signal data catches, but I like to be above 30,000 crystals. Let's see. Web store. We need crystals. We need this pack. More payment options. Apple Pay. Buy with Apple Pay. And we have crystals. And we have Kessel Run. This was not how I thought my morning was going to go, user. All right, let's reload this. Well, reload. It always switches screens when I reload, which is annoying. User, yes, exactly. When it comes to, right, Xander, when it comes to planning rosters with user, it becomes very hard because I have a plan and I say, okay, this is going to take us 3 months. And he goes, no, I'm going to do this tomorrow. So it does become a challenge. All right, so we need 2,000 there. We need 800 here, right? That'll get me to 97. We'll buy 4 here. Good. Quiggled is done. It's fair. Nothing is happening in game today. It is one of those days where it's just TW, 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 and roster reviews. And speaking of which, while we are doing this, I've never had to do a GL event on stream. But while we are doing this, I do need a recruit. I do need someone in the 12 to 13 million GP range who is hitting somewhere between 7.5 and 10 million on the raid. So if that fits anybody who is looking for a new guild. And we got 2,000. I'm thinking if I go for the 4, let's go for that, and let's see if we can get 3 shards. Got 2 shards because of course that's what happens. We get no shards because of course that's what happens. There we go. Is this actually brunch or breakfast? I guess it depends on your time zone, right? Like for me, it's breakfast. I used to drink a mimosa on stream for brunch, but then I kind of realized I was driving to the movies after, and then my wife would have to drive, and she hates driving. So I decided to stop actually drinking. I should have tracked that for the 99 experiment too, though. Which kind of sucks that I didn't. See, there you go. For some of you, it's brunch. For me, I know it's breakfast. I understand. All right. So now we have the event should be active. Do I even have it active? Begin the journey. Let's see what this looks like, right? What time is it? 16:25. Literally watching over lunch. Hello there. That's beautiful. Should have kind of paid attention to what I'm supposed to do here. I imagine it probably doesn't matter. This is probably an easy event. I bet that nobody enjoys doing this like 40 times, though. Why not Zoidberg? So here's the thing with GL events. Is like some of them are super well coded and designed and everything, but you have to do them so many times that like it gets kind of frustratingly boring. Like, what is it? It's like 8 times that you have to do each tier, or the first tier, usually. And you're just sitting here against, like, so many characters. I'm not looking forward to doing this multiple times, is what it comes down to. Especially with, like, switching taunts around. CG needs to make this shit simmable once you've done it the one time. And, like, still make me use tickets. That's fine. I don't care if you have to make me use tickets. That's totally acceptable. Down. Okay, so we don't even have to kill GG. This is why I need to pay attention to these things, right? Is so that that I know what's going on. Unlimited. All right. You only have to do it 4 times, so that's not bad. It's not awful. We're just going to press buttons. So how is everybody's day? Since, I mean, it's kind of like TW Hero time, right? Where just kind of talk and go from there. Not losing tickets anymore is such a great thing, and it's funny because a lot of people who are newer to the game just don't understand some of the events, like the Ray and SLKR event, and everyone goes, oh, they're easy, you just follow the pattern from this YouTube video from 3 years ago. That shit didn't exist when we did the Ray and SLKR journeys. So we had to sit there and do them and just guess. Like, we didn't know there was a pattern. We didn't know that you could trick the computer. We just had to figure it out, and you would just lose tickets, and it sucked. Oh, you know what? Next week is daylight savings for us over here. The GL Leia event, what was it, was it the second tier? Where, like, if you didn't get the days off, you basically just lost? The JML event had 1 tier in it that was pretty rough. I mean, it wasn't bad, but, like, it sucked when you lost. I will always choose to overinvest in an event. If it's my time and sanity versus everything else, my time and sanity always wins out. Every single time. Yeah, for us in the States, it's November. It's like November 1st or November 2nd, whatever. Let's see. Yeah, November 2nd. I'm gonna tell you, Daniel, man, that, like, I will lose that. It's gonna suck. Like, I'm gonna be so tired that day because my internal clock is gonna wake me up at whatever the least convenient time is. GL Leia event, I think I lost that specific tier, I'd say like 7 times. And you'd win it like 3 times in a row and feel good. And then on the last one, you would just keep losing over and over again. It was awful. BKM's event, is that the one where you have to do the, it is. The one that you have to do the stupid, the BAM thing. I have to do these tanks first. Bodhi, I was talking to Mulpoki, I think it was, after the Zeta Protocol episode, and he had mentioned your new TB strategy, and I had said to him, I was like, oh, that must be why Bodhi has been so fucking cranky lately. We're trying for the 46 strategy soon, but I need to get a 50th. Every time I get a 50th, somebody else quits the game, which is annoying. I need to get my Malachor platoons in. So again, I'm using my platform. What I always hate about TB, like being a TB officer, is that the people who are not TB officers do not understand how much time it takes. If people get their shit done, being a TB officer is super easy and not time consuming and not the worst thing in the world. on the last like 3 hours of an event, if you haven't got your shit done, I now have to babysit it every 20 to 30 minutes to check stuff and to change stuff. And having to check every 20 to 30 minutes is like one of the worst possible feelings, because I can be watching TV, I can be eating lunch with my wife, and I have to constantly think, oh, I have to go back and check the map. Oh, I have to go back and check the map. And it's always something stupid. And I say this to my guys all the time. Life sometimes gets in the way. I fucking understand that. I know that. I'm not here to tell you that the game should be more important than life. But they will say shit like, oh, I got caught in a meeting and I couldn't do my battles. Dude, I don't just deploy. Just fucking deploy. Like, I don't fucking... if on a day you're busy, you cannot do your battles, just fucking deploy. I don't care. It'll make my life so much easier. Because doing your battles in the last hour means that I can't deploy. And we've had one time, me and my other TB officer, we both hold GP for the end. And there was one time where he lost internet in like the last 15 minutes of the wave. So he couldn't deploy. And like, it sucks for him because we lost a star, but it's not his fucking fault because he gets 15 minutes deploy. Everybody else gets 24 hours. It's so true, Bodhi. It really is. It really is. And my favorite is when people do all their combats and then they go, oh shit, I thought I deployed, I forgot. Dude, come on, man. Like, seriously? You've been playing this game for 9 years. Like, deploying should be second nature at this point. Anyone who plays in my guild, they know, like, I'm pretty low maintenance. I try to make things as fucking easy for people as I possibly can. There we go. And man, with the beta testing, so it's kind of wound down a little bit. It's not as crazy anymore, but with the beta testing last Hell Week, like that fucking sucked. Having to do testing while doing Conquest NTB. I was literally begging CG to just give us all Red Crate so that we didn't have to deal with Conquest, and they refused. They did not listen to me. Morning, AWP. Welcome to TB Week. TW Week. Oh my god, Bodhi, how many people message me and they go, hey, will I get to do combats on this planet? Who the fuck cares? Just do the thing that I asked you to do. I'm in rare form today. Damn. All right, we're done with T1. Tier 1 is done. We've finished it. Is the testing still going on? It is. The testing is still going on. It is winding down. I don't have any dates, though. All right, we're on to Tier 2. Right now, it was requested, actually by the players, by us, to start testing TW Omicrons. So that has been, we turned off GAC Omicrons and we turned on the TW Omicrons. All right, hopefully this is just as easy. It's terrible. We are unlocking GL Pico. He will be so excited next week when I tell him during Zeta Protocol. We actually have, so next week there's a lot of stuff going on. We have Zeta Protocol on Wednesday. Phil and I are supposed to do something after Zeta Protocol on Wednesday. Friday, Ranger J is doing a huge Halloween charity event. And I'm going to try and be there for at least for at least a portion of that. So there's a lot of exciting things going on next week. Bodhi, I've done shit like that before. Like, my messages can get unhinged to the guild, and my messages will just be like, can you just make me and Q fucking happy and, like, make us not hate ourselves today? Because that would be super great if I didn't have to sit here and twiddle my dick for the next 6 hours. So here's the thing with Relic Delta, having played with it, Lamtia. I think that Relic Delta is going to have a much smaller effect on the current game than a lot of people realize. I think a lot of people are really scared of it, but I think that its overall, like, what it's going to do for the game is relatively small. Now, a lot of people have asked, and they have said, so if it's going to be such a small effect, why are they doing it? And I think that those people are actually missing the point. Relic Delta isn't about the now. Relic Delta is about the future, right? Their goal is that it doesn't disrupt the now as much as possible. But their goal is also to make relic levels materially matter more so that when they come out, we want to invest in them. Now, I had a phone call with my guild leader last week, and he asked me about Relic Delta. And my answer to him, and I think it's a really important answer before I get into this, is, you know, if we're talking about how I feel about Relic Delta, we have to define the parameters, right? And the parameters for me are, if we're talking about whether I personally think Relic Delta needs to come to the game, I believe the answer is no. That said, I don't work for the company. I have no idea. If we're talking about a world where Relic Delta has to exist and it is going to be coming out no matter what I say, I am about an 8 out of 10 on Relic Delta right now. So that's my thought there. AF1, yeah, I hate being on the phone. The reason my GL likes to talk to me sometimes, and I tell him, hey, I'll give you a call on my way home from work. You know, I'll route you through my car. I'm not calling you when I get home because I'm spending time with my wife. Here's what I think is going to happen with Relic Delta. We still have not gotten the economy changes. My belief for the economy changes are that they are going to double old signal data. So the 3 signal data we currently have in the game, they are going to basically accelerate them. And then in the scavenger, they are going to half the amount of materials you need for everything Relic 1 to Relic 7. That is my belief. This is not what's happening. We don't know yet. But that is what I think will happen. I think that what CG is going to be doing is advancing the game so that Relic 7 is the new hold point. Relic 7 is going to be the new, like, oh my god, this is like where we want to get to. And that way, the majority of players will not feel a heavy effect from Relic Delta because they will be playing in a subsection of the game that is at a Relic Delta 2 to a maximum of a Relic Delta 3. But I think it's about the long game. And I think that by the end of next year, we will see Relic Delta 11 and Relic Delta 12. And what'll end up happening is that is when you'll start to see maybe a little bit of a divide in terms of the super whales, the Krakens, and the players who don't spend as much. And I think that by that time, it won't be blamed on Relic Delta, because Relic Delta will have existed for a year. And people will have learned to deal with that system. User, what I mean by the scavenger is when you go to the scavenger, let's say it takes 50 points to get a carbonate circuit board. My thought is they're going to make it take 25 points to get that carbonate circuit board. Right? So they're going to reduce the amount for everything that is Relic 0 to Relic 7. Keep in mind that none of this is official communication. This is just my belief. And what that means is that within the next year, the most dedicated players, they're going to exist in a world where Relic Delta 2 and 3 are the only big things. And even when we talk about Relic 11 and 12, which obviously are not announced, but even when we talk about those things, I think that those are, again, going to be very rare things that we're not going to have to worry about anywhere near as much as players right now think that they're going to have to worry about it. In terms of game mode, I got nothing. You know, that has not been... The testing parameters right now has just been Relic Delta, and will we be testing anything else? I don't know. I don't know. Should people be relicking things right now? My thought is that right now, until we know what the economy changes are, you should only be relicking mandatory things. Things that will materially benefit you in the short term are the only things players should be relicking right now. I don't think players should relic passion projects right now. I think they should only be, like, if there is a new GL team, if they need it because they're going to be getting... Oh, so she's got to survive. Okay. All right, what do we have to do? Is there actual things? Stood in battle, which can't be copied. Why was appearance altered? Okay, so she has to survive. So I have to actually pay attention. You told me that after she died. Any expectation for the anniversary beyond the reappearing of Lightspeed bundles? Generally, the anniversary is just bundles. One of the big things with the anniversary is we also get an inbox reward. So I have a feeling the buffs on them, turn out attacks, Ezra assist. Let's do that. I have a feeling that we're not going to see anything more special than we normally see. Each. We're probably going to see a more generous inbox reward than we normally see. We're already seeing with Conquest that we're getting, like, the bosses, right? The old bosses are all re-released, which is kind of cool. But I don't think you're going to see any, like, crazy, insane things like you might be expecting. We might get some, like, really beneficial packs. The anniversary is, like, the end of November. We usually get a pack around mid-November into December. Not into December. Like the 15th into the 20-something odd, depending on when the patch dates are. They usually do, like, one of those what is it, the shard shop currency rolls, where you roll 5,000 shard shop currency and you get a free 7-star character. That's generally, like, a nice one that they've always done. And the later game you are, the more it's worthless, but like for a mid-game player, it can be pretty nice. What did I buy 5 days ago? I bought the episode pass, and I actually bought something this morning because user bullied me and forced me to spend his money, but I can't change that day's spending graphic while we're currently streaming. But it wasn't my money, okay? Well, actually, YouTube takes 30%, so 30% of it was my money, but still. I think I'm at the moment, red glows are R5 Watt, R7 Star Killer, R7 DSC for LV. I mean, if you think you're going to be getting Lord Vader within the next like 2 to 3 weeks, I think you'll be fine. If you think it's going to take you a little bit longer to get Lord Vader, I would wait on anything that's not the clones. Because the clones is, you know, also for raid. What was that? I feel like just using his Hondo's basic seems to be like, well, now it's like doing shit. The fuck is he healing so much? Universal R7 Lightspeed. Okay, well, and I would love a fucking pony for Christmas, man. Why the fuck is he not dying? Yeah, but he's not, like, dying. There we go. Okay, well, now you're dead because he wasn't dying. I don't want a pony, but I grew up in an area of New York, New Jersey, where horse girls were a very real fact of life. So it's not even a joke around here. I see, like, this time he's... Does Ezra, like, have to die? Because I feel like as long as Ezra is alive, he's not taking damage. I would skimp on anything that is not materially benefiting you right now, Knights. Just for now. Anything that isn't going to materially benefit you. And if worst case scenario, you get all of the things for whatever your farm is, and then you say, oh, hey, you know what? I'm going to do those things now. Worst case scenario is that you do them all at once. I don't know if I'm going to have enough to do this whole event. Horse girls are like Valley Girl's weird younger cousin. I don't really know how to explain them in context, but they are definitely the more eccentric cousin to the Valley Girl. Users just like spend all your fucking crystals. Man, my crystals are supposed to be for when big things come up. Yeah, I feel like Ezra does Ezra have to die? Because this event seems fine as long as Ezra is dead. But he doesn't seem to take damage if Ezra's not dead. Horse girls all over North Jersey, it is a thing. Let's see. There was the start of the battle. Doesn't seem like he has to die. Well, 150,000, 160,000 crystals is a little excessive, in my opinion, personally. The economy change is supposed to happen at the same time as Relic Delta. My belief is that Relic Delta is going to happen within the next month. That is based off literally no information. We have not been given any information on that. But that is my belief, is that in the next month we will see Relic Delta. You should farm Balin in the mid-game. What is their reason for... Balin is great. I really like him. I know when he first came out, a lot of people were like iffy and they were like he wasn't doing enough. Or maybe that was just Bones, but nobody should listen to Bones anyway. I really like my Balin. Are we talking about after you've built out the ROI on your account? Then, like, maybe, sure. I think that you do get a pretty decent amount from doing Balin. The Great Mothers team is a solid team. Maroc is solid with the Inquisitors. And then, obviously, well, for TB. But then, obviously, you have Maroc and Shin for GAC. I don't necessarily think he's a priority, though. But I do feel like you do get a pretty decent amount of stuff from him. Okay, so I cannot kill. What is Phil's take? It's whatever it is, it's wrong. So Balin is kind of like Afra, you're right, in that like, Afra is good if you have nothing else to go for. But the things that make Balin, I think, a little bit better than Afra is that you do get the core of the GM team. And I think that there's something to be said for that GM team. And it does make the getting to third sister a lot more viable. Phil trigger warning. Is he gonna just start exploding? But I'm gonna tell you, when we talk about GM versus Balin, I feel like I use the Balin team a lot more than I use the GM team, and the GM team is great. I think that the Balin team does not get as much love as it should. Oh, you need 47 for whatever fucking weird reason. I guess I'm still positive on this, right? So, sure. Event. There are a lot of times that a new TB planet or a new something comes to the data mine and it doesn't materialize, or it doesn't materialize right away. I think that the problem with TB right now is that it's such a time sink at the end. And that can be really problematic. We look at like day 4 of TB, where for endgame guilds, that's a 5-planet day. I don't want to say it because I feel like it's uncouth right now to say these kinds of things, but like, I would have an aneurysm, is what I'll say, if I had to do a 6-planet day. If I had a 6-planet TB day, I don't know what I would do. It is the worst idea in the world for me to even think about a 6-planet day. Day 4 of TB is already like the most mind-numbing thing to me, especially during Hell Week. Morocco's Omicron makes Inquisitors just amazing during TB. Balin during TB, I only use Balin during TB during the first couple of days. I use it during day 1 for the special mission, for Kira's special mission, and I use Morocco there with Balin. And then day 2, I do something similar. But after that, I don't use him anymore. So, Relic Delta, the problem is that the days that are the worst are R8 planets. So, the time speed up of Relic Delta on it is really not that much. And I've said that to them in the betas. I've offered other suggestions as well to help speed up TB. And one of my big suggestions that I did mention on a bunch of my streams is that the numbers for TB for PvE Delta should be different than the numbers for PvP Delta. Because it doesn't need to be as balanced. So if you kept the version 1 numbers for PvE, then great, my day 4 is lovely, even with Relic Delta 2. Because days 4 to 6, I'm doing R8 to R9 planets. You guys know, I've done the video on TB simming. It's out there. You've seen it. It's the day 4 TB planet problem video. I would love to see them do that. I would love to see that get more traction. I would love to see all the content creators jump on that bandwagon. So Zap, that would be fair for like low gear stuff, obviously, right? And I know some people are concerned about Conquest right now. I don't think, from a win battles perspective, from a low gear perspective, I don't think that Conquest right now is going to be affected negatively as much as people think. But I do think, obviously, that feat acquisition is going to be terrible for the higher end. I'm also realizing now, man, having Hondo tomorrow is going to make my life so much easier during this Conquest. Well, I think the people who are concerned about it for Conquest more than I am are the ones who are concerned about using low gear characters in battles for survive feats. And at least with the Delta 5 numbers, I think that those players are going to be a lot more fine than they realize. Like, they're not going to be in any type of problem zone, and they will still be able to do what they need to do. 5 fucking times, goddamn. Look at that. Thanks to user, we have Hondo now. Hondo is unlocked. And now we're going to make user salivate because we can just burn Zetas without even thinking about it. We go Zetas? Oh, not a problem. Who gives a shit? Look at all of that ability material. Kimmy, I gotta tell you, I know you're always like in the videos and everything. I'm telling you, go to the Discord, go to just the conquest area, and reach out to me and reach out to Kazgul, because I bet we can get you to gold crate so much easier than you think. If you're in Kyber, you should be able to get gold crate relatively easily, and I bet we can get you there. It's all about creative thinking. It's all about being very smart. Yeah, Zap, but it's always been like, if I'm doing a survival feat, I'm not doing it against an MM team, right? I'm not doing it against those teams. Those AoEs are going to destroy you anyway. They were destroying me as it is now. I'm doing it on the nodes I'm looking at, even right now, I'm always specifically looking for 2 or 3 nodes that are easier to grind on, just in case I can't do it on a bonus node. I do want to take Hondo to R9. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it today. Do not have the signal data to do it today, but I definitely should have the signal data to do it by the end of the week. So let's get him to 7 for now. Well, he's going to go to R9. I just don't have the signal data right now. And I don't have a need for him to go to R9 right now. I don't have a mod set for him. I'm going to need to do the mod set later. I don't, user, man, don't start throwing fucking money at me to take him to R9. The amount of materials that I need to take this guy to R9 is like, it's not worth it. There's nothing coming up in the game. We are on GAC off week. He will go to R9. He will be at R9 ASAP. I promise you, man. I promise you. But we're in GAC off week. There is no lock needed. My guild is already doing max crate in the raid. He will be at R9 within the next week. That is the important thing. R. Relic Delta Entertainment. That must be Shadow's alt account. All right, we have all of this for signal data. Beautiful. I've told you, user, man, like, I'm all for money being spent, but you always got to think smart. Like, user, be happy. You always have to think about it in the way of like, am I materially benefiting? Do I need any of these? No. And the answer is that right now there is no material benefit to Relic 9. These guys can go off of my favorites list. Okay, perfect. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what's going on in TW, right? Now that we've destroyed that event and we're working on the ult. Xander, shut up, man. Man. All hard teams. I can't even TW hero on hard teams, and we're gonna win anyway. All Leviathans. Quad May. We could do a Quad May, right? Whatever. We're gonna just send whatever in. You know, Darfrog, 23,000 crystals looks like a lot, but when you use it, it goes very quickly. And I don't hoard for no reason. I hoard very specific, like for very specific reasons. I'm hoarding very specifically for the next big thing. So it's whenever that next thing comes out, I want to be able to capitalize on it. That's where the hoarding comes in. If there's something that I think is going to make it hard for me to exist, I need to be able to spend the crystals on it. No, I don't need SLKR to beat Quad May, but we have won this. We have won this TW. Palpy, I don't think you understand the purpose of TW Hero Day. TW Hero Day is when we just throw crazy things at whatever's available because we don't need to worry about the wins. Exactly. So Adis, yeah, I might need whatever that marquee is, right? The Stranger's Marquee may be game changing. So that is one that, hey, I might wail on. You are very right that 23,000 crystals is not a lot. I like to be above 30 to 35,000 at all times. I am light on them, which is why I have not bought the signal data pack, which is something that I do normally purchase. I don't know. It seems like they want the Strangers team to be the new Starkiller team. Gonna need to be a little safer here. When I'm hoarding, so, you know, hoarding is different at different levels of the game. Right now, I am only refreshing mod energy and now normal energy because I have to get Hondo's ult. Oh, and Cantina energy. You know, once Hondo's ult is gone, I don't need to refresh normal energy anymore. I don't need to refresh ship energy right now. These are all energies that I don't need to refresh, so I generally do not refresh them. In the mid game, you need all of those energies. I have a horde of 500 plus of every G12 gear. Well, user, you have 40,000 signal data. I do not have 40,000 signal data, as we saw. So I am constantly hoarding to make sure that I have enough signal data. Morning, Caracol. Oh, it's still 8. Holy shit, it's early still. Damn, why are you guys all here? Not 40k, but a lot more than most people have of signal data. All right. We're going to wait for Moonborn to defeat that and see if there's anything anything easy behind it that we can just throw shit on. 10k across, probably even less. I thought I was going to have enough signal data. I have time for all. I don't have any more shard shop currency. I'm completely, I just burned 10,000. Because I do use shard shop currency on whatever is in the 360 slots. Because med packs are the bane of my existence. So I usually buy this. I'll typically buy this just for posterity. Yeah, Caracol. It's 8 a.m. for me too. Anything while we're waiting? Galactic. It doesn't matter which one I do. This I did. Yes. Come on, Moonborn. You can do it. Let's go. Let's unlock that last one. Caracol, where are you? I know you're on the East Coast. You can always PM me if you're like, oh, I don't want to dox myself. It's always interesting when I find people that live closer to me than I realized. I've had quite a few lovely beers with people in the community. Moonborn, you're taking too long. Let's go. With the way that the shards work, accelerated shards, you get less shard shop currency. If they are non-accelerated, you get the old amount of shard shop currency. Oh, actually, I do have bronzium. I guess I could open bronziums. That's true. That's fair. Let's see. Let's run the command. Oh, you're nowhere near me. Never mind. Let's do that. I have 500,000 currency. Where is my channel for that? Bronziums. Should have done that before. Just all bronziums. I completely forgot that I've like literally forgot that bronziums exist. All right, we are running. We are seeing what the bot is thinking. The bot is trying to do my bronziums. I have 500,000 currency. It's going to take... I guess there's 2,051 rolls that it needs to do. I don't even think it did all of the rolls. Let's see, because it said 1,000 out of 2051. Oh, I think it opened them all. Okay, there we go. How much did we get? Did we get enough? We got a decent amount. I did. I swallowed. I got my D's. I did it. I got my vitamin D. Now the question is, can I do his ult tier without mods? Because doing mods on stream is very boring to people. I recognize that. So let's see if we can do this without mods. Are Starch Up currently worth more than ally points for DC materials? I honestly don't know. I never use ally points or Shard Shop currency for DC material. Well, I will use Shard Shop currency for the currency, for the million currency. I never use ally points for that stuff, ever. I know some people do. I don't. Ally points can come in clutch in the weekly shop, but generally there's nothing in the weekly shop that I need. So, like, even when Zetas are in there, I'll buy them for ally points, but I don't necessarily need them for ally points. Got my first ult material. Look at that. Oh my god, if droid brains are in there again and I can't get them, I'll be very upset. I'll be sad. I'll blame user for that. It's kind of funny how you can just like basic with Hondo and do this. And again, I don't even have mods on him. I'm assuming I'm using a borrowed Luke. Because not every... Well, no, actually, you'd be using your own Luke, because... No, Luke is not a requirement. Luke is a requirement for the other one. I'm not low on droid. I have a decent amount of droid brains right now. I'm not really worried about them. Though, with the pirates and with Smuggler's Run 3, I probably will end up R9ing a team. Okay, I can't buy the tickets now because I have too many to go over. So, I have to do that later. I know, I can buy refreshes, but I've already spent the ones. Don't want to do that is what I don't want to do. Arna, I don't have the... Xander, stop. Stop. You're going to make user take out his checkbook, and I don't want to do that. I really didn't think we'd get the TW hero today. One, two, three, four. And where's Snips? No, I have Snips. Snips, Ahsoka, Padme. Oh, GK. Did I use GK? I already fucking used GK. Like a silly goose. I don't know. Use Cam then. Such an old-fashioned thing, a checkbook. I still write rent checks for my business. but I have not written a regular check for my personal life since we bought the house. Okay, well, this is gonna take a while. Oh man. I thought we were just gonna pop into reviews and do things like super quickly. Auto basic, maybe we won't get so much TM that way. Oh, thank God. I will say again, now we have a lot of people on here. So I will once again say, while we're doing our TW hero time, that anyone in the end game that needs a new guild, 12, 13 million or so, I am looking for one person before tomorrow. I don't know. Do this. Let's see if that works. It would bring me great joy to not have an alt account in the guild for TB. Yeah, I don't... Checks aren't really used much anymore. Some people insist on using them on rent because if you don't use them on rent, then you get like charged a 3% fee, so it's cheaper to do it that way for most people. What are we getting in TB? We're doing 44 right now in TB. We are doing max raid. Max raid box. We are looking to get to 46 very soon, but we need to finish our Malachor platoons first. User, I'd love to take Link, but he found himself a lovely guild that is just as good, if not slightly better than mine. I talked to him last time. I'm not trying to steal people from any guilds, man. I specifically asked if people are looking. I have a video, and that video is, it is okay to break up with your guild if you are not happy. And I am offering, if someone is not happy, something where they maybe are happier. I have found in my years of being a recruiter that I can offer people 10 more TB stars and huge rewards in... I'm going to just see if this works. I don't know if it's going to work. Huge rewards. Actually, this shouldn't work because I think there's tenacity down on that team. Huge rewards in raid. And if people are happy, they're going to say no. You know, so for me, guild leaders need to say to people, hey, how can I make everybody in this guild happy? Do bank transfers cost fees in the US? Generally, a bank transfer does not cost a fee. You can do a direct bank transfer. Usually what's going to end up happening is if you do bill pay online, your bank is going to write a paper check to your bill pay. Well, I will say we are also looking for someone that has pretty strong raid stuff too. So like 7.5 to like 10 million raid scores. But I will also say that there's no time like before you join a guild to make the choice to change where you're going. It's hard, though, because I know so many people that I often have to say, hey, if you're not happy, feel free to reach out to me, but I am friends with your guild leader, so I'm not going to actively recruit you. Seems to be a common theme in my communications to people, now that I know so many people. Road to failure is trying to please everyone. You are right. But you also have to accept that if you're not pleasing certain people, that it's okay for them to leave. It's okay for them to say, you know what, this is not for me anymore. And that is a really, really important thing. I don't know, C, right? Let's do C and who do I have? Where's Assassin? Or Bane Assassin. I actually have a guild member who's in France. And it's really funny because he reached out to me like 3 years ago, and he was just gonna join temporarily. He was like, hey, I'm just looking for a temporary guild. I'm between guilds right now. I don't really fit your full thing. And I was like, hey, you could join temporarily. I need somebody for this upcoming TB. And it just worked out. He decided to stay. We decided he did well enough. And he's been there for 3 years. Oh my god. Can I take a turn? What the fuck? Damn. That was scary. That was not okay. It was not okay at all. I don't know what else. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't matter if we win, right? So let's just see what happens. Sure. The D horrendous would be harassment. Do you know how much my guild harasses me? My guild, like, their entire vibe is harass Egnards. Like, how much can we harass him? That is all they do. All day, every day. Alright, well, not working the way we wanted it to. We also didn't really expect it to work. We kind of just threw in shit randomly. I probably should have used a cron. But this is... This is the time where we just throw shit at the wall because we have won this battle anyway. I don't know. Yeah, sure, that one. I get harassed everywhere I go. And then people ping me constantly, and they're like, hey, Egnards, can you chime in here? And I go, I don't know what you want from me, man. I got a life, too. And they go, no, you don't. Let's see, my brother-in-law is messaging me. And so you're... My brother-in-law is coming over to watch football with us today. And he's a very strange individual. and our football game isn't until 4:25. But he said, "Oh, I'm coming at 8 in the morning. I'll be right there." And I told him, I said, "Listen, man, you're welcome. I do this show on Sunday morning, so if you come over, you're welcome. You're gonna be my guest on the show." And he said, "Background," which is his thing. So we'll see. My brother doesn't. My brother-in-law doesn't even like football, so I don't know why he's coming over. But I think he's just bored. So we'll see what happens. Always those beautiful dodges. There we go. I go I've been an East Side Earth player, so I woke up this morning to like 8-9 pings for TW. Yeah, we're actually. We have people all over the world. I have people in France. We have people in Germany. We have people in the Philippines in our guild. We have a lot of West Coasters. My beer tab wasn't so high and kid needing money while in college. You helped me with Conquest. Dude, M3, man, you know, like, if you tag me in the Conquest chat, I'm not a stingy motherfucker who goes like, hey, you have to pay me for help. 90% of what I do is based off of just tips. And especially in like that chat, I kind of just go, hey, if I can help you, I will. And Kazgul, the same way. Kazgul is constantly helping people in the Conquest chat, because like I said before on Discord, I think it's just his kink to make sure people are not spending money on this game. Like, he loves getting people through Conquest if it means he can get them through Conquest without them spending $1. It is his greatest joy in this game. User would, I think, force Kazgul to have like a conniption. What's my refresh time? My day reset time is at 2 a.m. So 8 a.m. is when I get my early. And then 2 p.m. is when I get my midday. Yeah, well, User also treats me pretty well, but I am constantly helping him with everything. And we're getting our first red crate this time, User. I don't know if it's your first one, but we are getting a red crate this time. Oh, Kazgul. User, Kazgul is a good friend of mine. He does content creation in the text world. He does not do videos. But he is... I should probably pay attention to this battle. But he is someone who is like really, really good at doing crazy, crazy, crazy stuff when it comes to Conquest and finding really weird ways to get things that work. And we're constantly fighting because he has his way that he thinks works the best, and I have my way that I think works the best. But we're also very good friends. And he does everything. Like, because he doesn't do video, he doesn't get any ad revenue. So I hope that the people that he helps every once in a while send him a few bucks through Substack. My Knicks fix at oh fuck, right, there's the fucking, I really thought that this battle would be fast because of the cron, but I guess not. I don't know what I was saying. Yeah, my game is at 425. I'm very excited. We're playing the Cowboys, but I will say that it's been a really strenuous season. We have won a lot of games, but it always comes down to the wire. Last week, after helping User with his GAC, I got really high, and I just could not deal with the emotion of what was going on in the game at the time. Like, I couldn't, my brain could not process what was happening in those last 6 minutes of the fourth quarter. Like, I felt like I was having a heart attack. Who is who? Me? Who just joined? Who is this? What do you mean, DC? You know who I am. Talking about Kazgul? Who is the guy we were just talking about, Kazgul? Well, I did it because I told Shadow that I would. And I prefer a whiskey. My wife prefers a gummy. And I felt like, you know what, I'll have a gummy with her. I don't actually prefer it. Generally, having a gummy makes me feel really anxious, so it's not really a for me thing. Oh, for Conquest, Kazgul, man. Kaz is the master. The master of Conquest. All right, so what we're going to do, I'm going to go refill my coffee cup, and then we have roster reviews to do. Right, so I'll be right back. We've got reviews. I know Estefano is waiting patiently. I know Darfrog is waiting patiently. I know ConWarlock is waiting patiently. And we want to try to get to Drawing with Egnards today, right, as well. So give me a minute. Let me get my coffee, and we will pop back in with those reviews.
He sought inspiration from mankind's Rush to reviews. Egnards is having a break and taking a Rush reviews. Talking to me that what pack sex should sell to you. Ooh, to you. To you.
I gotta tell you that that song has no business just rocking as hard as it does. Like, it just, there is no reason that that song should go that hard, and yet every single time it does. And Moonborn is a fucking genius. He is a lovely, lovely man who just makes these streams better every, every single time. He is insane, and I love it, and I love him. Um, it is just, it is beautiful. It is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. Sin, good morning. Well, it's not morning for you. It's like 9, 10 p.m., right? Somewhere around there. Let's see. So we have reviews that need to be done today, and if you are blown away by the production value on that song, just wait till we get to egg draws, right? And we're gonna go over. We're gonna pop in. Yeah, man, that is Moonborn. Just does the most amazing, amazing work for us. He did the Gungees song. He did the Fuck You Bones song. He has done just some beautiful, beautiful, beautiful things for us. We're going to pop on over to Discord. We're going to check out our review requests. We have Estefano coming up first. We're going to check the time. It is perfect, 1:36 exactly. So Estefano, I'm not sure, Estefano, if you're here or not. I hope you are, because I know you were waiting patiently last week. And Darfrog, I appreciate it. I try to be informative more than silly, but anytime I can inject silly into it, I try to do that as well. Anything that makes me laugh is what I want out there. So Estefano's Fleet Arena, Executors, and Profundities, 2 Leviathans, no Discord, but I'm good on terms with those at my time and before. Now, again, I've said this before, it's not necessarily always about being on good terms with the people in your fleet Discord. It's also about knowing, when to hit someone or not to hit somebody, so that you have to do less battles per day. But, if you're on good terms with everybody, it's not the worst thing in the world. Your assault battles look mostly good. Forest Moon and Places of Power, we're going to see if we can shore those up. Secrets and Shadows at CT3 is typically not a priority. Fanatical Devotion, so we don't have Inquisitors yet. Duel of the Fates, Estefano, man, you've been here long enough. You've been on my streams. Duel of the Fates is a huge, huge, huge thing for me. R9 Loverboard is a big deal. Peridia Patrol, 5 stars. What are you currently working on? Relics for Bow and GR Fleet. Are you dead set? Yes. Now, this was about a week and a half ago, so things might have changed. Are you dead set on continuing? How highly you value efficiency? 70-30. Are there any favorite characters you want to prioritize, even though you know it's probably not smart? Great Mothers and Zombies. When we say zombies, are you talking about the zombie bros, or are you talking about Night Sister Zombie? I'm assuming that we're talking about the zombie bros. Now, while I'm waiting for the answer to those questions, Ani, hit me up later. I'll get you the Fuck You Bones song. It is a beautiful song. You could also hit up Bones. He loves the song as well. I think Moonborn does have a playlist on Spotify you'll have to ask him for, of all of his songs. I sometimes just turn on my own streams just to listen to the songs because they're silly. Okay, Zombie Bros. Perfect. Shards for important proving ground characters. Malicos is 60 away. Malgus 80. Fury class 110. I'm assuming that 80 and 110 are how far away you are as well. Let's pop this over. Let's see your account. Oh, I didn't guess. Damn it. 5.7 million. I want to check out Forest Moon. So let's go to our Imperial Troopers. Veers, where is Stark? Stark is 1. Piet. I'm going to tell you right now. Let me just check out Stark real quick. Imperial Intelligence. If you were to take Stark to G12 and give him his Zeta, you could probably take Forest Moon to CT3. Now, with that said, you are probably in a pretty severe Zeta crunch, so it may not be worth it for you to do that. I'm just saying that it is possible. At the same time, once you get into Inquisitors and Third Sister, it's also possible to do it that way as well. but I do think that Stark is probably going to be important to it if you're doing it the old way with the old Imperial Troopers, Veers, Stark, Piet. I would personally use like Range Trooper and Dark Trooper. I did it very, very low. I did it on Vance's account, and if I can do it on Vance's account, any account can do it. But you almost definitely would need the Stark Zeta. Is it worth those relic materials? Maybe, maybe not. Places of power. Oh, you could do it that way too, the Gar and ISC way. I've never done it the Gar and ISC way, so I don't really know what it entails, but I know it's actually relatively easy to do. Sith. You're doing CT2 with what you have now. That seems actually relatively fine. Let's pop into our Tuskens. Only 4. Okay. Duel of the Fates, Relicking Bow, and the GR fleet. I do want to check out one. You've got this. Perfect. And our ships. We have you're actually in a really good place, man. Like a really, really good place between having Executor and having Profundity and only being about 6 million. You have a roster that is kind of solidly built. Want to see here our gear tracker, what we're close to. JML so close. Would you say you're working on Bow and the GR fleet? Visitors, Java, you do have Profundity. Did I just gloss over that? Okay, Leia Java. Perfect. Did gloss over that. I am going to tell you, you've been on my streams before. There is like this square, right? And you have 3 out of the 4 corners of that square, which is Jabba, Profundity, and Leia. I would strongly consider going for Jedi Master Luke at this point. I know he's not existing in this great world in GAC right now, but he is still useful. And he significantly helps people with conquest. And you're like right there. You're literally right there when it comes to it. You're just bringing up a couple of relics. Bo-Katan, you're close. Finish Bo-Katan, that's completely fine. I do think that there's definitely some strength in the negotiator fleet. And, you know, if we look, what else are you missing from it? Okay, so to me, this is kind of like, because you have Profundity and Executor, I personally would say, you know, refresh the Marauder once a day. Do 5 battles a day on the BTL Y-Wing. Everything else is pretty much in order, you know, though really you should have Rex. You can do a lot of the things that you need to do with Arc over Rex, but really you're going to want Rex's ship. I would do this ship, but I wouldn't go crazy with the priority on it. I understand what you're saying, like when we talk about like Cal, but you don't need Cal in order to do most things with JML. You know, you do need Cal in order for him to be like super awesome in GAC, but you don't need Cal for him to really fundamentally help you in Conquest. And I use JML a lot in GAC without Cal in just a turn off the, if there's a GL, this Omicron doesn't exist kind of way. But Cal is, I mean, it's a really good guild farm. And it's one that your guild should be asking you for. You know, how do you not have it? What do you mean? Don't you have Cal? Oh, Hugsy is the one saying especially with Cal. Okay. I was confused. I thought you were saying you didn't want to farm Cal, and I was like, what are you talking about? But now we're on the same page. But even, especially because you have Cal, right? Like JTR, they're all accelerated farms. They're all pre-Chirotech farms to get to him, get to JTR. You don't need to bring any of them to relics. The events are not that hard. I think it's kind of a cop out to not go for JML at this point. And I would say finish Bow because you're close to Bow already. Put like second hand priority towards Negotiator. 5 battles a day on the BTL Y Wing. You know, really work towards getting Rex's ship, which is a pain in the ass because I think it's fleet energy and you kind of need that for your Zetas as well. Put JML as your more main priority because it just doesn't make sense to not have that farm at this point in the game. You do not need to R9 your lover boys yet. They're only at 5 stars. At 7, you're only at 6 million GP, so having them at Relic 7 is fine for you right now. But you've isolated that zombie bros are something that you like really like, and they're a favorite farm of yours, our favorite characters of yours. I am gonna tell you, and I'm gonna give you permission that after you get Bow, after you get JML, and while you're still working on that negotiator fleet, I am giving you permission to work towards this team because this is another return on investment team. And bringing these guys to like R5 to R7 is going to fundamentally just give you free resources every month. So I don't think it's a not smart farm for you. Once you have hit that ROI point of like Jabba, JML, Profundity, Leia, you don't have all of the resource events, but you have the majority of them. And it's okay to get a little bit more like fun-minded at that point. Listen, AF1, here's the deal. I get it, right? I talk about the zombie bros, but in fairness here, if we look at Estefano's account, boom, right there. This is a favorite character that they want to prioritize, right? So this isn't even a me thing. This is Estefano saying, hey, I want to do zombie bros. I just don't think it's smart for my account. So not me this time, right? Not me this time. This is all them. I think it's just a time where you can do that. After that, let's check out. Where is your guild at with this? Really, Third Sister should be here personally, in my opinion. Grand Inquisitors. No Grand Inquisitor. I also think that it is about time for you to start working on Inquisitors. You know, whether you want to or not, I think that it is a smart guild farm once your guild starts putting in Inquisitor shards for Third Sister. And starting now will help you to get ready for that. And I know it's one of those things where you're kind of like, oh man, like I hate the Inquisitors, but they are so fundamentally awesome once you have Third Sister. Where should you slot in Leviathan? With where you are right now in the game, you know, you are, what are we, Erodium? I've seen some Leviathans in Erodium. You know, when I help user out with his account, I see a bunch of Leviathans. We don't see them too terribly often. I think that Leviathan is a priority farm, but you're probably not a big spender if you are a spender at all. And if we're looking at a 6-month timeline for them, I'm going to tell you right now that you could finish Bow. You could finish JML. Negotiator fleet is all shipped, so it's not that big of an issue for you to get. That you're going to want to bring your old Bad Batch, probably at least to G12 to make it more viable for you. You could finish JML in there. You could finish your Zombie Bros, and you could probably have all of that finished within the next 3 months. Right? And if you get those things finished within the next 3 months, then you can jump into the Leviathan camp and say, all right, now I'm putting my priority towards Leviathan, and it'll take me a little bit of time, right? We'll check it out where you're at with Leviathan. You're fairly far away. The hard thing is that there are a lot of Cantina farms in the Leviathan farm, right? Sith Assassin is a Cantina farm. A lot of the ships, let's see. Yeah, you don't have any of those ships. You're talking about MK6 is a Cantina farm. Sith Assassin ship is a Cantina farm. I think the B-28 is also a Cantina farm, but I can't remember exactly. So you're cutting off a lot for when you start to get into Leviathan. So I'd really focus on fundamentally getting your resources now, then working towards Leviathan, and expect that Leviathan to take you a little bit of time because you're going to be cutting yourself off from signal data. But I also don't think it's a major mandatory you need right now farm, because you have Profundity, which just saw a lifter, and because you have Executor, right? Staying around Erodium is going to be kind of fine. The B-52, okay. Oh, look at that. I was wondering when Shadow was gonna join us today. Morning, Shadow. But that's kind of where I would take your account right now. Right? I think, especially with all of your Cantina ships not super high up, finish your bow farm, finish your JML farm, finish the negotiator farm, but make it your secondary priority. Start working on your zombie bros, because that's a fun thing for you. Then go all in on Leviathan. As far as your Inquisitors, are we sharded on our Inquisitors? As far as your Inquisitors, once you start to finish JML, just start to slow farm your Inquisitor farms. Right? You're not going to be able to relic them. You're going to have to worry about that. You're going to have to worry about that with after Leviathan, because you're going to have so much going on with Leviathan. But start getting those shards in, because as your guild starts to unlock Third Sisters, you're going to want Third Sister, because she's fucking awesome. She is amazing. STX, I actually chatted with your guildmate. He messaged me this morning. Quixie, I think it is, right? Let's see. Cybix. He messaged me last night. I love when my GAC opponents send me a nice message. I love when the message they sent me was hey, I know you're not really a big GAC guy, but have an awesome match and best of luck. And I love when there's like just that like fun environment, that fun vibe of, hey, we're here playing a game. Yes. So Sin, I'm glad that you've watched that. That's one of my, hey, the video that you're talking about is my, hey, you're doing Cantina Farms wrong video. And my goal with Cantina Farms is, if you don't need a Cantina farm immediately, then what I do is I use all my excess, like all my morning energy and refreshes I use on signal data, and then my midday refresh I use all my excess energy on whatever my farm is, and that way I don't feel like I'm fully cutting off my my Cantina farms. Right, and I highly recommend. I highly recommend doing it that way, because then it doesn't feel as bad psychologically. It makes more sense. Cantina farms can be slowed down or sped up at your leisure, which is really nice about them. And if you feel like you need to speed it up more, you can always speed it up more on the back end. He'll stream it on Discord. I unfortunately, and it'll be in between chatting and talking. But I'm hoping to win. I would like to go 2-1 this round. My last round I full cleared, but my opponent was just a little bit more, just a tiny bit more efficient than I was. You can, yes. So Estefano, I think that kind of covers it. Do you have any other specific questions? I always got to say hello to you, Shadow. That's just how it works. That's the rule. But Shadow, you missed us unlocking Hondo earlier. User swung his big dick energy around and forced me to unlock Hondo, like a month earlier than I expected to. I've got. All right, perfect. So we're gonna move on to Darfrog then. Hopefully it helps, right? That's the goal. Is we want to be helpful. Our goal is always to be helpful. So we're gonna move on over to Darfrog. We have at least 2 more roster reviews today. I see 1 came in today as well, and if we can get to it, we will try to get to it today. We've got Darfrog here. It is let's say 157. Yeah, about 157. So we got Darfrog's account, top 20 FA, 10 Leviathans, top 50 is Executor, Profundity, Dead Shard below top 10. Got messed up with the new Profundity ship, no active Shard chat. It's always nice to have a dead Shard. It makes your life so much easier. Looks like the assault battles are mostly brought up, except Places of Power CT1. In general, if you can do Places of Power at CT1, you can usually do it at CT2 as well. Secrets and Shadows CT1. Fanatical Devotion, CT3, Duel of the Fates, R7, Peridia Patrol at the 7-star level. What are you currently working on? PK Hondo, Pico is currently my main thing as a CW fan, which makes it sound like you're really heavily invested in like Supergirl, but I know that you're talking about Clone Wars. But I like to believe in my headcanon that you're just like a big Arrowverse fan and you love the CW and Riverdale and you're really, really sad that the station kind of closed down. I love the idea of Giella Hondo. He shouldn't have received all the hate, but LV is close and the same with Leia, and eventually want to clean up some things with Peridia Patrol and Jedi Knight Cal Kestis. I think that when it comes to GLs, people get a little bit too crazy about the GL moniker, and they're like, this guy's not a fucking GL. I'm not a Hondo fan personally myself, but if we're going to give pirates a galactic legend, Hondo makes sense as the galactic legend, right? And eventually we want every major faction to have a galactic legend, so it makes sense. Are you dead set on continuing? Dead set on finishing Pico next, but apart from that, I'm close to a lot. How highly do you value efficiency? I love the whole RI thing, but if Hondo SR3 is ass, I'm going to be grumpy. This is a great talking point right now. We know what SR3 is now, right? They've told us what SR3 is. And some people love it, and some people are so mad about SR3. This call that I had with my GL that I mentioned earlier, he was like, tell me what you're thinking about SR3. I'm so fucking mad. I thought it was going to be R10 material. If you thought it was going to be Relic 10 material, you're an idiot. I'm sorry. You are. Smuggler's Run 1 is mod material. Smuggler's Run 2 is mod material. Smuggler's Run 3 was always going to be mod material. I am so happy and I am thankful to User for getting me to Hondo today, because I'm like, great, I'm not going to miss a single Smuggler's Run 3 event. Modding is so important. Like so important. And I'm not calling you an idiot, Darfrog. I just mean in general, people who are upset about it not being R10 material. I think it's great. I think I am constantly working on mods. I think the more that I can work on mods, the happier that I am. So I am totally happy with SR3. And apparently, Meathead said from what he's told, you can do both tiers. I don't think the R9 tier is available right away. I'm not sure. But I am super happy with where it's at. Well, I'm going to get mods for Hondo. I just didn't want to do it on stream because remodding on stream is boring. Characters I want to prioritize. Ben Solo to R8, but just haven't had the time. Mal and Class are about 6 away. I'm gold boxing every conquest. Guild has finished Zepho, Mandalore, and our eyes are set on more SMs. And I'd really like to finish catching up on older GL conquest teams so I can start farming the new. I was really hoping for a new capital ship as I don't want to dump heaps of resources into Leviathan and then instantly get outdated. Okay. So a couple of things. One, I am calling this right now the era of ketchup, right? And people on Discord, you made the ketchup mustard joke. But the era of ketchup, because the first two characters were ships for old characters, which means that you didn't need to relic anything, which was super nice. And now these two bounty hunters right now don't seem like they're going to be immediately needed for anything, which, you know, we don't know. Maybe they will be, but and maybe going into the next raid they will be. But it doesn't seem like they're going to be immediately jumping onto something. We might get one more episode in November, and then we go into the holiday episode, which is no marquees. So this is a great time to be playing catch up on old things for players. Hindsight. I'm not a ketchup man myself. I am a mustard person. I am a spicy mustard person. I have families at my dojo who are German and they go to Germany every year and they always bring me back German mustard and I fucking love it every time. Egg modding is prime content. That's because I'm sitting there going, I don't know what to do. This is a great time to play catch up for players. All right, let's see. Darfrog, where you're at right now, I'm going to say like 8 million. Look at that. That's beautiful. 8.1 million. Love it. The spicier the mustard, the better for me. You know me. I love things spicy. I love things hot. I want things to make me cry. All right, let's see. We got 8 million. It's Morbin time. I love the name of this guild. I got to tell you a quick story about Morbius. My wife and I, we go to the movies every week, and that's since before COVID. Morbius was supposed to come out before COVID, so we saw trailers for this movie for 6 months, and we were so tired of those trailers. And then COVID hit, so we were still seeing trailers for this movie. And then COVID was over, and we were going back to the movies and they delayed the movie. So we saw trailers for this fucking movie for another 8 months. We saw trailers for Morbius for like a year and a half. I was so sick of trailers to Morbius. And we ended up watching Morbius on a flight to Denver. And it is one of the worst fucking movies I have ever seen. It is so bad. But 10/10 would recommend. Japanese spicy mustard. All right, I'm writing that down. We're going to check that out. See if I can find some of that stuff around here. We go, I'll tell you, Sin, there is a ramen place around me. It used to be out west, and now they're going east. And Darfrog, I always go on these tangents. I apologize. Jinya ramen is it's a chain, but it's a high-profile chain. They got a bar. It's great. And we loved it when we were in Denver, and they just started to transition to being out east. And they have this ramen it's spicy ramen that they give you a scale of 1 to 10. And every single time, without fail, I go in there. And every single time I order the spicy ramen. And every single time I say I want a 10. And every single time the waiter will look at me like, you don't want a 10. And every single time my wife has to turn to the waiter and say, yes, I know he's white. Yes, he will finish it. Yes, it's not hot enough for him. I crave the spice. I love Jinya. I love Jinya so much. Um, and actually, when we were in Korea, we happened to find a very authentic like Japanese ramen place in town when we were exploring. Super good. It wasn't spicy, but it was super good ramen. Um, all right, we're here. We're refocused on this roster. We have SLKR, JML, Ray, C, Jabba. We're okay. All right. We're doing good. Ships. We have Executor. We don't have Profundity yet. Where are we at? It's just starting to come to my area. There is one that opened up about 45 minutes from me, and we've gone a few times. And there's one that's going to be opening up about 20 minutes from me, and I'm super happy. You got hot places? No, hot pot isn't really a thing around here. And I only like vaguely know what it is because I've heard stories. Leviathan, Leia. Interesting. No Leia. Jar Jar, Ahsoka. Where are we on Hondo? Okay. So your main goal right now is Hondo, and that's fine. I don't think you're wrong to do Hondo. I want to check out Places of Power, though. Now, so you say, this is interesting, because you say Places of Power is at CT1, right? Places of Power, do you have Dark Ray? No. So Places of Power, even with Sith, if you had, you have Malin now. Damn. Because SOKR can do Places of Power at CT2 and CT3. It won't be at 3 stars without Dark Ray. So once you have Dark Ray, that'll be a little bit easier. But with C, if you do like Papa Palp lead with C and like Malik, Treya, I know Malik is not high gear right now, but Treya, Malik, and like Nihilus, you can get that to CT3. Yeah, I know SOKR crew, but it's not 3 stars when you do it that way. And some people choose not to do it because it's very time consuming. Secrets and Shadows. Oh, I wish I could walk to Jinya, man. I would be so done. I get it. It's a shit event when you can't do it for free like that. Night Sisters. Kind of the same thing here. It might be a Zeta investment thing. I have done the Night Sisters, Secrets and Shadows the old way with Mother Tals and Old Daka. But there is a way to do it with Great Mothers at CT2 and CT3. It's just one of those things that I unfortunately can't help you with because I've never had to do it that way. But I imagine you'd want Merrin kind of for that. And it's kind of interesting that you don't have Merrin at least G12, especially with having Jedi Master Luke. Because you kind of want Cal. Orbin Time, 480, Zephyr ready, Mandalore ready. Those are things that I would kind of prioritize. Do you have Bo? Do you have Bo? Okay. Zombie Bros and Bo, yeah. Where are my zombie bros? Pretty Patrol, they're at 7 stars. I think that I've talked about this before. I have a tiering system, first tier, primary, secondary, tertiary for farming. So you have isolated Hondo as being your primary farm, and you want to do that no matter what. That's like, hey, I'm dead set on that, and that's completely fine. But you still are sharding that, right? You still have to get shards for a lot of farms for that. So while you're sharding that, I would be working on Cal Kestis because you have all of the farms except for Baby Cal. I know Baby Cal is a Cantina farm, which makes it a hard sell, but it's an 8 energy Cantina farm, which means it's very fast. I would be working towards Cal while you're still working on your Hondo shards because you'll get that done super quickly. It'll help you with special missions for your guild. It will help you with making Jedi Master Luke maybe a little bit more viable as well. And it's not going to hinder your Hondo farm literally in the slightest. Want to see, well, actually, I want to come back here. I know you kind of said here that you're a little bit nervous about like a new capital ship and Leviathan and like not wanting something to be outdated. What I'm going to tell you, and I've said this on so many streams, is it is never a bad time to invest in a fleet. And the best time to invest in a fleet is when you don't need that fleet. So right now, you might not necessarily need the fleet because your shard is mostly dead, right? But you're going into the 27s and that kind of sucks. You'll always find a use for a fleet. Always. And even if a new fleet comes out tomorrow, you will find use for your Leviathan. Fury class, I mean, you still got a little bit of time. Proving grounds characters. I don't see anything about Fury class here, so I don't know how far you are away from that. But I would definitely say while you are working on Hondo, finish Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, Imperial Remnants, bring these boys to Relic 7, right? Do this all while you're working on Hondo. By that time, honestly, you're really only talking about, I think, like a month and a half. So you're going to have plenty of time. Might be Leia time, man. Yeah, I think it's Leia time, man. I think it's time to go for Leia. While you're working on Hondo, right? While you're sharding up Hondo, also finish these shard farms for Leia. Finish up Cal Kestis. Finish up your bros. Start relicking and getting to Leia requirements and doing Leia while you're doing Hondo. Get those things out of the way. If at that point your Fury class is starting to get near finished, that's your time to work on Leviathan. If you're still far from Fury class at that point, then you might as well just burn through and finish Profundity. Right? Especially with Profundity getting its new lifter, making it nice and easy and a lot better of a ship. It is a good ship to invest in, and there is a lot of overlap between, you know, Jabba, who you have, Jedi Master Luke, who you have, and Leia, who you're going to eventually have. So I think that that's kind of what you need to think of. I think you're looking too dead set focused on Pico and not realizing that while you're focusing on it, you could be focusing on other things literally at the same time. So that's fine, right? I agree with you. You were on the stream earlier where I said if something is not going to fundamentally be worth it for you right this second, if it's not going to help you right in the moment, it might be worth holding off. But those resources will be available to you once we know what those economic changes are. I would say that if Paw Patrol event comes back around and you have the signal data to take them to R7, just do it, because the rewards you're going to get are going to make it worth it. But the economy event, the economy changing is going to the economy changing is going to happen in the short term, right? So you don't necessarily have to worry about that as much as you think you're going to have to worry about that. That should be relatively soon. But I do think that you need to put priority towards Jedi Knight Cal Kestis. I do think you need to put priority towards Leia. I do think that Hondo is a perfectly fine farm for where you are in the game right now. But I also think that you can't be scared of fleet farms, and you need to work towards those fleet farms. And I would just pick one, Profundity or Leviathan. I don't even think it matters, especially with the buff that that Profundity just got. Right? And again, you want to hoard signal data right now? That's fine. Hoard signal data right now while we wait for the economy change to see what that is. Because there's nothing pressing that you're going to get in the next couple of weeks. It's all like bigger stuff. But those are the farms that I'd work on, and I'd work towards those farms, and I would work towards the shards on those farms. Does that make sense? Saw inspiration. Ba-da-da-da-ba-ba. Do we have any other questions? Are they? I don't. They didn't say they were nerfing Rogue One. What they said was, and I'm paraphrasing here because I don't fully remember. They said, "Hey, it's doing some things we didn't expect, but right now we're just monitoring it." Right? And we don't. And they said we do not anticipate making any changes. Yeah, Shard Pico, but again, you have Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, who I would start sharding Cal Kestis right now while you're in catch-up period, right? Because you have plenty of time. And I would start 5x battling a day to get, Lobot and Drogon, just to get those as well. Yeah, they said that they're probably not changing anything with it. So I don't expect them to do it. User, I did not say, Ani, I'm gonna tag you on Discord because Moonborn just posted the Fuck You Bones song. I would do Cal because he's faster, right? Because Cal right now, Leia right now, you still have things to shard. Cal right now, most of it you can gear, and doing baby Cal will take you literally a week. Right? So I would do that first. Oh, user. I did not say that I don't want an R9 Hondo. What I said was, I will 100% be R9ing Hondo. He will get R9 without a doubt. But that I do not have the resources right now to do it today. And when you asked me how many crystals or how much money it would take, I told you, please do not send me that money because we are in a GAC off week. And I have time to R9 him. Right? So that is what my statement was. He will be going to R9. It's just doesn't make sense to do it today. Yeah, you can use the pass, and it looks like Darfrog, from looking before, has bought the Night Sister bundle in the past. So does not really have any other characters to use it on, right? So it might be worth it for that. Rayo, Platinum Rayo. Good morning. It is almost 10 a.m. We have been flying through today, but good morning. Happy brunch day. I have one more review that we are definitely doing today, ConWarlock. And then I know another one came through today, but I like saving some for next week as well, so that I have some to do. And we have to do egg draws as well anyway, right? So we want to get to that. Yeah, I did like 500 energy before. I didn't get that many. I am going to be using signal data to get it faster, but right now I have like 50 tickets, so I can't even buy the signal data, even if I wanted to. All right, what are we at? We are at 2. let's just say 220 for Warlock. Oh, we'll ping him. Okay. Oh yeah, this is the "Fuck You Bones" song, "Bad to the Bones." For anyone who's interested and did not see that on Discord, it kind of looks like him actually, in a weird way. All right. Shadow, get some sleep. As long as you're rooting for the Broncos later today, I am all happy, brother. Thank you for stopping in. Fleet Arena is mixed GL ships. I communicate and I get at least top 5 every day. We look pretty in order here. Places of power, CT2, so you can Shadow CT1. Everyone seems to be about the same today. Ah, there he is. Pretty Patrol 5. Currently getting Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, and this one not too far long ago, 1019. Currently getting Jedi Knight Cal Kestis and Seer Zeph already. After that, I have a number of projects that I need prioritizations. I'm planning to go after Leia. I also want to do JMK in the not too far future. He's a, what do we call that? A PP, is that a passion project, right? Is what he says. And the relics from that would improve my GR fleet. Depending on how the economy changes are looking, I might be R9ing Lover Boys. Yes, you should be R9ing Lover Boys, but currently I do not see the point for me. R9s are not something I do outside of the very few requirements. The point of doing R9 Lover Boys is so that you have more R9 material in the future. The return on investment of Duel of the Fates is basically a year. 1 year. 1 year is literally no time at all in this game. And if you refresh the R9 tier, it's like 6 months. So the purpose of doing R9 Lover Boys is so that you get more things very fast. My God. Sin, help me out, brother. Oh, I love the people on my memberships who understand, like they get me, because they're like, no, I have spreadsheets and I understand the economics of time, and when people, that is why we do it. Oh man. Mommy Mandalore would also go nicely in my account, but that's a whole other project, so I don't know. There are also some PG unlocks coming up very soon that I want to invest in, namely Malgus Maul and hopefully the Stranger. Got my first gold crate last conquest cycle. Malicos is also coming soon, but I am quite Zeta starved, and his team is very Zeta heavy. And Malicos's team is going to change a lot, right? When Starkiller leaves the team, a lot of people throw Starkiller in that team now because it's kind of needed with the newer Ray comps. So we don't really know the effectiveness of Malicos once that is gone. Darth Link, go to sleep, man. Yeah, we had a lovely chat with Sin. And I was like, dude, I don't even know why you're here. You know exactly what you're talking about. Other conquest unlocks relevant for me are still half a year away. Quad Maluth and Bane, Ezra, hearing Bane half a year away. Is the tough part of it. Yeah, but hold on. Duel of the Fates. Wiki, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. You get signal data from this event. I mean, you got it at the 7-star tier, right? So I get you're already getting signal data, but come on. I'm somewhat close to being able to get badass motherfucker, but I don't really need the raid score. I've been very let down by Bamf personally. And his team seems to be lackluster, especially without Gun Granny. You're a year away from that. In terms of fleets, I want to work on my H1 fleet and get Leviathan once I'm ready in 3 months. Currently farming the Cantina ships for that. Then there's the upcoming Relic Delta, so I might have to pause some farms to give a roster a big Relic bump to stay competitive. Efficiency is always fun for me. So you just got your first gold crate. You have your stuff in order here. I think you're around 5 to 6 million GP is probably where we are. And Berm coming in with the raid. Good morning, Berm. 8 million, 8.6 million, and just got our first gold crate is a little tough for me to swallow because I feel like your roster probably can gold crate much more consistently than you're giving it credit for. And with that, like, our Discord, the Conquest channels, how that works, that Cosgul will find a way for you to do it. You should, at this point, be getting those gold crates relatively consistently. Jabba, Vader, Jedi Master Luke. You don't have Mommy Mandalore. Jedi Knight. We have Jedi Cal Kestis. He's only Relic 2 right now. Always think long term is the thing. When it comes to events, when it comes to currency, you should always be thinking long term. Thinking short term never works out. Mommy Mandalore. We have them all sharded. We didn't really bother. I mean, I think it's always worth bothering to gold crate. I'm always going to get red crate because I'm a completionist, but I think it's always worth bothering to get to gold crate. Leia Organa, 1080, Leviathan. You said about 3 months to get the ships for this. Have Profundity and Executor. So Leviathan is a very good goal for you. I really think, personally, when it comes to the Jedi Knight, Jedi Master Kenobi, to me, Jedi Master Kenobi has become... Jedi Master Kenobi has become like the Afra of GLs. Like, he's really good, but he's fallen off enough where most rosters don't really need him the way that they used to really need him. So I think there are a lot better things to go for unless you're like super close to him, and you're not super close to him personally. I understand he's a passion project. You have to slot in passion projects where you want to slot in passion projects. It's a hard sell for me personally to tell people to go for him. Yeah, he used to be a must-have, and now not so much. Bo-Katan Mandalore will get you closer to that. Let's see. Oh, give me 1 second. My brother-in-law is apparently here, so I got to step out and let him in. So I apologize. I have to pause this midway through a review, but give me a minute. All right. I know you all want to meet my brother-in-law, who's sitting in my living room right now and can hear this, but he refuses to come into the room and say hi. What an asshole. All right. What were we saying here, right? Let's see. It's not that hard to respect in real people. Okay, so let's see. Mommy Mandalore. You're gonna want Baby Bo for that anyway, but I really don't. You're gonna, man. Let's see. I want to check everything else out before I in-laws. Am I right? We have this Leia Not that far. I would be going. Andrew, can you be bribed? Probably. What type of bribe will it take to get you to say hi? Huh? Absolutely not. Like nothing. Nothing at all. Okay, well, he unfortunately said that he cannot be bribed to say hi. And ConWarlock, I apologize. I just need to do something real quick before we continue with this. Cancel my reservation. Is he ridiculously attractive? All right. I just canceled them. Is he ridiculous? I mean, I think he's a good-looking guy. Does he have better hair? He has very beautiful hair. He really does. Andrew, can you be bribed to say anything other than hi? No, he says no. All right, so ConWarlock, right? We have, I mean, I really, really, really think that JMK is not the smartest move. I understand it is a passion project. I think that Leia is a much smarter goal for you. And you said something about like your Home 1 fleet, didn't you? You want to work on, yeah, your H1 fleet. So if you're talking about your Home 1 fleet and getting Admiral Akbar up there, you're kind of building more towards Leia anyway, right? So it seems like Leia is the smartest of the GLs for you right now. Hey, Zavor, he's great. You don't need him. Okay, so I definitely would be doing Leia. Mommy Mandalore is definitely worth it, I think, as a guild farm. So I would definitely be doing Mommy Mandalore. I would say to do this. I would say Leia, Mommy Mandalore, and then you said that you'll be Leviathan ready in 3 months in terms of like having the hard stuff, I mean. So if you finish Leia and Mommy Mandalore, then you can go to Leviathan. Right? So that kind of makes more sense to me. Morning, Wampa. So I would say Leia, Bo-Katan, Leviathan, and then if you want to go for JMK, then go for JMK. Finishing Cal Kestis, you're going to be done with that very soon. But I'm going to very strongly tell you, again, can he shout CG shill? I'm going to very strongly say to you that that R9 Lover Boys is just such a smart move. And you become ROI positive on it very, very quickly. And I cannot stress enough how important I feel it is for somebody who is at like that, almost you're at 9 million, pretty close to 9 million GP, like that 9 to 10 to 11 million area. That seems to be the smartest move for you. In terms of the Home 1 fleet, did you whale on it? Right? What's the name of that ship? B-Wing? I mean, the Home 1's doing great, even with a B-Wing at 4 stars. But you've got some time until you can even really maximize that. If that makes sense. So, like, I'd put more priority towards the things that are going to more fundamentally do something well. Correct, Sin. So correct. In fact, next time I can't make brunch, you're just going to stand in for me. You are going to be the person that takes over brunch for that day. Badass motherfucker is not worth it. You're 6 months away from a quad mate team, from a Bane team, from an Ezra team. Peridia Patrol. So you know, you've been on my streams before. When it comes to Peridea Patrol, I am strongly in the R9 camp for Peridea Patrol. But when it comes to them, I think it's less of a necessity and more of a strong push. I do think that players should, as a bare minimum at your level, have them at the R5 to R7 tier. But I think that for me, I'm like, yes, they should be R9. This game is a marathon. I've been playing for 9 years, right? So when I've been playing this game for that long, I think about like the 2 years, the 3 years it takes to become resource positive on that without refreshes, and I go, oh, this is so easy. This is the quickest thing in the world. When people think about just the next 2 or 3 months, it's kind of a trap that they fall into. And I have people messaging me constantly going, man, you were so right about Peridea Patrol. I should have done this earlier. I'm 14 million. I don't know why I didn't do this. And I go, man, if you did this a year ago, you would be like you would have all these great resources, but you didn't listen. So I don't think it's a 100% thing, but I do think that it is a strong-minded thing where you should get them at least to R5 to or R7. I wouldn't ignore Home 1, but I would consider that you have stronger things to work on right now. Leia, Bo-Katan, Leviathan towards the end of that. Wrap that up. JMK you can do at the end, right? Makes sense. Talking to Meathead, what packs you should sell to you, to you. All right. So we have one more thing to do today, and then we are all done, right? We're gonna, especially because I've got my brother-in-law is here, and I want to be able to be present for that. We are gonna finish up with Egnard's draws. So while that plays, I need ideas.
He sought inspiration from mankind's truest arts. Armed with trusty MS Paint combined the greatest parts. He traveled all the world, went to Japan, France, and Spain. So when the light hits up his screen, we're asking once again, is it a masterpiece that's coming? Is it truly art refined? Or is it just the digital equivalent of shit we find? Draws.
All right. Well, we're on to our last segment. There's a joke where you draw Andrew. Draw my brother-in-law with a lightsaber. Oh, that would be funny. Man, you guys and you're like draw these intricate things. The purpose of Egnard's draws is just draw the character. We could go, oh, let's do the stranger. All right, let's do the stranger. Hold on. All right, beautiful. Let's get a nice picture of the stranger. I'm going to type in, I think safe search is on, so I can't even get like that shot of him that makes everybody evil. Acolyte, tools, more, the stranger, the acolyte, lake. What did I say, lake scene? Hmm. Stranger coming out of the lake. Okay, so we want water, right? And so we'll get some water here and try to give the water a little bit of texture, but I'm not good at that. Where is the airbrush? Don't forget your towel. Hey, kids, you want to get high? A little bit more. Need a better picture for this. Hmm. I need a good pic. I can't find a great picture for him. I guess I could use this one. Take that. Have him coming out of the water. No, I don't like that line. That one was weird. I feel like I've just drawn fallopian tubes. Okay, I gotta close the hands. Where's the hand not closed? Here. Where the hell is it not closed? Ah, there it is. We gotta give this guy his abs. Actually, let's do this in black so that there's like a contrast. I'm terrible at the nose. Like muted red lip. Nope, those are too effeminate. I need more like a peach. Now we're gonna give him a closed mouth because I cannot draw mouth. It's more splotchy than that. Jedi ropes blushing. Yeah, okay. Uh, got like great small eyes. I have no idea what color his eyes are. Got a punch out villain is honestly perfect. He's got these like weird blue veins like everywhere. No, they're like a darker blue. They're also a little bit opaque. Um, we got these weird mountain things in the background. Like a lighter color water. And you know what? We'll give him. I know he doesn't have these, but we're gonna give him like little lightsaber hilts on his back. Where are they being held up? I honestly don't know. That is the stranger. That is basically him. I mean, come on. Darth Jose. That's the stranger. I don't care what you think. Yeah, he's got the blood of someone who needs medical help, right? He's got a medical condition. With that said, I do need to head out. I usually raid into the berm. Berm is here right now. We have to save this. Ooh, we got to save this first. Save this as the stranger. Thanks for joining me for brunch. Again, with everybody here, we are Awakened Mandalorians is down one. We need one more person before tomorrow. Someone in the 12 to 13 million range with a decent raid score. Hit me up on Discord, message me, save me, make my life less miserable so that I go in with a full 50. I appreciate you guys joining me for brunch. We have a lot next week, like I said before. Zeta Protocol on Wednesday. Phil and I are going to do something next week. And Ranger J has a huge charity stream on Friday that I'm going to try and be a part of. So keep a lookout for all of that. Broncos country.